Every time I think about what I want out of my life, my mind just goes completely blank. Of course, the ultimate goal would be to be happy and doing something that I love and being settled in a career that isn't too taxing, but I feel like this definition that I've drawn up for success is always changing. And I don't know if it's just me, but I find that happiness is difficult to come by when you're chasing after something that is constantly moving. My earliest memory of feeling successful dates back to when I was a kid, trying my absolute hardest to have fun and let loose, attempting to entertain my crazy and impatient mind that was filled with a toxic and negative environment. But as I grew older, I discovered what it meant to quote unquote escape from reality. I relied a ton on distractions around this time, which leads to my teenage years, a time where it was difficult to fit in and feel good about myself. So naturally turning to other things like video games to reassure myself that I was worth something, even if it was something as little as seeing a victory screen on my 2013 HP laptop. And when college came around, I felt like I had perfected this art of avoidance and advancing my idea of success to be my ability to suppress my emotions and push forward in life. Looking back now, I can confidently say that I never truly had a grip on what I wanted success to be. I feel like for every phase of my life, I literally attached the word success to certain things and left it as that. And as an adult now, I still couldn't tell you what success means to me, and the thought of that scares me to death. I can't name a single thing that makes me feel successful, and the thought of that has suffocated me for the last couple of weeks. You see, as a kid, it was acceptable to be unsure of what I wanted success to be. Entering a world that overstimulates our minds and distracts us from anything else important is challenging. But as sad as it makes me, I'm not a kid anymore. So I can't just go on with life chasing after things that are temporary. I have to discover what I want out of my life and ultimately, what I want success to be. And I think everyone should focus on this. We should focus on redefining or even discovering our definition for success. Because a lot of the time, we're telling ourselves that if we get to this point in life, then we'll be happy, or if we receive this amount of money, then we'll be satisfied, but we're never thinking about what truly brings us purpose in our lives. And sooner than later, we run into mental roadblocks thinking to ourselves, why am I so unhappy? Or why am I nowhere close to being successful? And I think that there's one thing that a lot of us forget to acknowledge, and it's the fact that being successful and feeling successful are two drastically different things. We can have all the money in the world, but if we're unhappy and purposeless in life, then what's the point of everything? If we're waking up and feeling like we need to meet a certain quota, then how can we ever feel successful? We can't just run all the time hoping that we'll reach the finish line one of these days. Because it's true what they say, you know? Enjoy the journey because the destination is a mirage. You'll never know when, or how, or if you'll ever reach the finish line. It's definitely not an overnight process, so we shouldn't be too hard on ourselves. All that is expected out of us is that we choose our mode of transportation and that we enjoy the ride and appreciate life. I personally believe that everything else will play out on its own if we allow it to.